What is going on, guys? My name is Jeff and this is Broken Paddock. So today I'm gonna go ahead and swing past the UPS store to drop off some Amazon returns, and then I need to run to O'Reilly's in order to pick some electrical cleaner. We're gonna go ahead and take a look at the rear view camera today on the truck. It hasn't really worked very well in the last 2 years. It worked while I moved, and that was about the only time it worked. So I wanna go ahead and pull the connection apart, clean the electrical connection, and put it all back together and see if I can get my rear view camera to work, because it'd be a really nice feature to have when backing the truck up. So let's go ahead and swing by the UPS store and I'll catch up with you guys there. All right guys, so I'm just leaving O'Reilly's. I picked up this Berryman electronic cleaner to clean the connections for the camera, and then I picked up this mass airflow sensor cleaner for when I go to put the Porsche back together. I want to be able to have it all ready so I don't have to keep running to the store. And I know that I'm gonna have to clean the airflow sensors and everything before I do put it back together. So I figure I'd pick it all up at the same time. So let's go ahead and get back to the house and get everything taken apart. All right guys, now that we're back, I'm gonna go ahead and spray off the connector first, and then I'm gonna disconnect it and then spray the connection with the new cleaner and then put it back together and see if that works, or if it's something I'm gonna have to get a little bit more in depth with. But let's go ahead and I'm gonna show you where it is and show you guys what we're working with. All right guys, so the camera goes from right there underneath. It's supposed to be to the spare tire, and it's gonna be some of the connections up there. I believe it's actually that one there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and spray and see if I can get that to work, and then if not, I may have to drop the spare tire and get up further in there. All right, I decided we were gonna drop the spare tire, so we're gonna go ahead and deal with getting all of the interior panels out in order to pull this thing out. I'm gonna get a little bit further. And this is supposed to flip. In order to get this thing out, and this is what's gonna house the jack and everything else you need. What I do need is this. And I think the main spinner piece in order to need that one and this one. And then you need the last little one in order to drop the spare tire. So you need all three for the jack handle in order to do this. And I need to put the key in, so let me go ahead and we'll go from there. Next license plate, there's a little cover. Before it gets undone, you stick the key in. Pull the key off, pulls the whole unit out. And then in there, up in there is the hook that this connects to and allows you to spin everything around. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that and drop the rear tire underneath. So that's kind of how that's gonna go. And then you use the hole in the center of this in order to spin it, and then it'll slowly drop the rear tire. So I'll catch up with you guys when I drop it. All right, so now that we got that removed, you can kind of see more of the connections underneath here. So what I'm gonna do is, there's a chance that I don't remember exactly which one comes from the camera, but I'm gonna go ahead and try to spray this one and then this body one that's up on the other side of this frame rail. So I think those might be the only two I've got to do. I'm gonna check that, and then I want to make sure there's no like rubbing or anything that's like cut through. So I'm gonna get my flashlight and just double check. Judging by feeling, I can't see anything that's like cut through or anything. So I'm gonna disconnect this one to clean it, and then there's one up here with all these wires that I'm gonna pull apart and check as well. So wish me luck. I will catch up with you guys in a little bit. Alright, so I got the connection all cleaned up. So this is the side I pulled out of the frame rail so I could go ahead and get that cleaned. Spray the spray in there. Of course it won't focus, but that one's all clean. this one's all clean, but when trying to put them back together, I realized that there's an orange seal in here that you won't be able to see even with it focused. It looks like the seal on the inside has kind of curled up, so it's not allowing me to clip them back together. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and dig the seal out, see if I can straighten it back out when I go to push it back on to get these to clip back together. I'm fairly certain this is the rear view camera one with where it's going up into the frame. So I'm gonna say this one just goes straight up through the tailgate and to the back camera. But I'm gonna go ahead and try to dig out the orange seal that's in here and see if I can get them back together. So I got the seal out and got everything reconnected. It looks like the seal might have been holding it back. I'm gonna have to look at getting a new one, but let me go ahead and see if the reverse camera works. Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and just double check. Just hesitating a little bit. And it still says, I don't know if you guys can read it, camera is unavailable, please contact your dealership. So obviously that wasn't the right plug. Alright, so obviously that wasn't the right plug. Pretty sure that's the one that comes in from the tailgate that goes to the camera. And last time I checked, there was nothing wrong with the wiring through the tailgate, and it didn't look like anything was messed up on the part that came out the bottom of the tailgate into that clip. So it could be something beyond that clip, which would be the next harness up, which is a bunch of different pins and connectors. So I'm gonna try and go ahead and clean that and see if that'll be the next fix. Alright guys, so it is getting fairly late and it's starting to get really dark, so I'm not going to be able to tear apart the electronic components in the back bumper right now. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap everything up to make sure I can drive it to work tomorrow. When I get home from work, we'll go ahead and continue this project, go ahead and rip that next sensor apart, get it all cleaned up and back together. I may even then open the tailgate and rip the panel off in the back, see if there's any issues with that. I'd really like to get this camera to work. I think I've tried it before and it hasn't. It was just really weird that when we were moving it worked, but it hasn't worked any other time. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here, and I will see you guys in the next one.